If you want to write a book and become a best-selling author, you're in the right place. At Elite Online Publishing, we can help you create, publish, and market your book so that it becomes a #1 bestseller. We work with a limited number of authors to ensure that they receive the best possible service. So if you want to learn how to write and publish a book that will empower you to smartly grow your brand, business, and credibility, apply today. We look forward to working with you.
Hey everyone, it's Melanie Johnson here. Thanks for joining our podcast, Elite Publishing. I'm here with Jen Foster, the co-owner of our company, Elite Online Publishing. Hey, Jen.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
I hope you're having a great day. We're here to talk books, publishing, marketing of books, how to use your book for your business, all of the inside scoop. Today, we are honored to have Nate Lind with us. He wrote the book, Maximum Exit, the definitive guide for internet and technology businesses. And he teaches you really how to sell your internet business. So we're going to dive deep. He was self-published his book. So Nate, thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it was, it's funny. I wanted to be an author from the time I was in 7th grade, and it took me till I was 42 to write a book. And here I am.
Oh, and what made you decide I'm going to do it now? Because I think that's the biggest question. It's like, what is the moment when you're like, okay, I'm going to get it done?
Yeah, so it took me about a year to plan the book. I read Mike Capuzzi's The Magic of Short Books, and I loved the idea of a short book I felt like really intimidated by anything like super big. So he really, his like method really appealed to me about like a short book. And I was like, I could probably put that out in a couple of days. And it took me a year to like just do the table of contents and like structure and figure it out. And then I really like gave a lot of thought into like mergers and acquisitions is not exactly the easiest subject in the world to explain. And I wanted to just have a story flow with it. So I shared my own, story of selling a business. I told my own story about trying to buy a business. And then I just kind of broke it into, because I'm a business broker, I'm having all these sales calls with people thinking about selling their business. They ask me the same questions all the time. How much is my business worth? What's my multiple? Who are the buyers? What kind of buyers are they? And then how much money am I going to get? Those are the questions I got over and over again. So I took all the questions that I get time and time again from just my sales calls, and I decided, let me write a book about this and just put all this content in there. And I want to make sure to like seep it with, good information and like give them something, practical and helpful to use, that if they want to try to do it on their own, they could. Man, this is tough stuff to do on your own. It's like trying to, assemble an engine out of your car the first time, or maybe, trying to sell, try to sell your house, without having access to the multiple listing service. So man, you can go stick signs out on the corner, all around your neighborhood, but wouldn't it be more effective to just call the gal or the guy that's sending you the postcard saying another one sold? Like, that's what to do. So that's how I did it.
I love that you're saying, frequently asked questions where you like, I got stuck and it took me a year to actually put it together. One of the things we teach people. So if you're listening to this, if you saw what Nate did, he finally said, the frequently asked questions I get asked all the time, make that the chapters of your book. So It literally takes, if you sat down for 2 minutes, set a timer and said, what are the most frequently asked questions I get all the time? You probably even have it on your website that you can just go and make sure I'll make those all the questions. You have the beginning to the answers right there, and then just add stories into it, and voila, the book. And then I love the point you made about it doesn't have to be a long book, right? So just FYI for people, like, a business book is 130 to 200 pages. You can go up to 250, but please don't go over 250 pages. Talk about how you've used your book. I love you have it. You give it away for free. Yep. How have you used it? How has it positioned you in the marketplace and brought you business?
Well, it has definitely set me apart from the other 50 brokers at Website Closers. I'm the only one with the published book. I think there's another broker in my space that's got a published book on the sell side. There's another one that has one on the buy side. So I'm one of 3 brokers in the digital internet technology space that has a book. I have been on numerous podcasts this year. I published my book, something I didn't answer in your last question I wanted to get to real quick. It took me a year to put together the table of contents and plan the book. It took me 2 weeks to write it. So,
Right.
and it only took me another like month to get it published on Amazon. So from the time that I started, writing and putting pen to paper, I started with an old school manuscript and I wrote it by hand. And then I typed it into the Hemingway app and kind of dumbed it down to third grade reading level. And then I polished it a couple more times. So I think I did like 5 edits of it, and I had 2 editors do a pass at editing for me. And then I published it. And that whole process, that only took, I think it was like 61 days or something from first pen to paper to being published on Amazon. Yeah. And then so how I'm using it primarily to set myself apart from the competing brokers looking for businesses to sell. I use it as like a big business card to give away. Like, it's not huge, but it's sexier than a business card. So can hand it out. I've been to dinners, like group dinners here in Puerto Rico, and the person sitting at dinner, whom I did not know, said, "Oh my God, you're Nate Lynn. That I bought your book." And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like, not like Insta famous or like media, a media person, but it's pretty cool to like be recognized for your work for someone who randomly finds you on Amazon. I use it a lot for, I'm actually putting a little bit of time and effort into the book as a marketing funnel. And I view the book, it's a large call to action. The call to action of this book is to book a free consultation with me to find out your business valuation. So the promise of the book is I'm teaching people what their multiple is and who's buying and that sort of stuff and how to figure it out on their own. But the real hook is you really can't figure it out on your own unless you have access to a marketplace. And the MLS of mergers and acquisitions are private marketplaces. No one has access to them but the people in them. So sooner or later, you're going to have to give me a call and I'll do the valuation for you. I'm not going to make you sell your business with me to give you that information. It doesn't work that way. It's like a doctor's not going to perform surgery on someone before they have a free consultation. You do the consultation first. If you like the doctor likes you, then boom, you're headed into the next procedure. So yeah, the most recent thing I've been doing is a little bit of PPC advertising on Amazon, and then built this book funnel. It's get.maximumexit.com is my book funnel. And then I've got on natelyn.com/gift when I'm on podcasts. That's my free giveaway for people that listen to me on podcasts to read the book. And I figure if they spend an hour and a half, reading 100 some odd pages, that at the end of that, if they have any inkling or interest in wanting to sell their business, they would at least pick up the phone, and the call to action of the book tells them exactly where they can go to schedule a phone call with me. And I've gotten several. So I'm happy with that. I haven't landed my first client cold, off of the interwebs and through the book yet, but this is still a new process.
I love that. And the podcast interviews, your podcast tour, I bet that's bringing you a lot more visibility and audibility, I guess, because not everyone sees you on YouTube. They might be hearing you right now.
Yeah, they do.
And tell us how you did your audiobooks. I see you have an audiobook too.
Yeah, I went and recorded it at a studio right down the street here in Guaynabo. I've got some pictures of the whole process. It was super cool, super fun. I like audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks, so I felt it was important to have an audiobook of it. So yeah, I just went and had them record each chapter as a different, audio track. I found someone on Fiverr to help me make sure that it was within kind of like the EQ range that Amazon needs, because it wasn't. And then, uploaded it to, is it the acx.amazon.com or acx.com?
Yeah,
and
which is awesome.
which is Audible. So boom, it's there on Audible. And and then I actually increased the pricing of my book. I think I kind of messed up to start with. I had the book originally at $9.95. I increased it to $19.95, and then put the audio book and the Kindle at $9.95, in that range. So I figure people can't spend $20 to learn how to sell your company. They probably don't have a company worth selling. I may not even want them to give me a call.
That's so true.
Not your customer.
Right. Yeah. And have you used your feature yet for the Audible bounty? Have you heard about the Audible bounty?
I see it on there. Maybe you can tell me how that works. I haven't done anything with it. I've gotten some bounties, but I haven't done anything.
Audible does, they call it a bounty. It's really just an affiliate fee. But if you share the link, so they'll give you a link that goes to it's basically audible.com/your book, basically. Yeah. And that is, if someone signs up on Audible through your book, so they went from your link, then they give you $75. And I think it takes a couple months because it's really that Audible subscription is what they're getting from you, right? But they're getting it through you instead of just going on Amazon and buying your book on its own or subscribing to Audible through whatever. They're subscribing it through your link. So that's kind of a fun tip. You can have maybe just a buy my book on Audible on your website, and then you have that bounty link. And then if anyone bought it through your website, then they would, give that back to you.
Cool. I'll do that. I have not monetized that yet. So thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of, so this is where I'm putting on my Coaching Ninja publishing tricks for you. So we talked about call to action. You've got this beautiful call to action at the end of your book. So when someone's looking at your book and they can preview it, one of our ninja tricks is we put a call to action also in the beginning of the book, because then they can see it in the preview. And sometimes the link will even be live. They could click on it and go right there without even, or before they buy the book. And you might even get people, because the point is for them to click on that link, right? And to connect with you, whether they buy the book or not.
Page number 1, maximumexit.com/resources.
Good. I was looking at the preview and I didn't see it there.
So maybe I need to update the preview to make sure it includes that page. So I think my preview,
it stops at the bottom of the introduction. So what we like to do is put it right after the table of contents, because the table of contents is there.
Yeah. And one trick you can do, like I noticed you have it at the bottom of the page of words, other words, is you could do a QR code and do the website under the QR code.
Yeah.
So they can either click either one or use their phone, or if it's inside the printed book, because then you can use the same page for your printed book, then people can scan it and it go straight to your sign up for the free call. So
I'll make sure when I update it
too. Yeah. You can give it its own page with a little, mini paragraph if you're like what you say. I do this for free. I don't expect you to pay for it. You don't have to work with me. Like all this goodwill that you're giving them of, doing this, and a little verb with the QR code and the link on there.
Well, I plan on updating it again for 2023. I published it in August of 2022, and then I updated it in November. And it felt a little painful to do that update process, but I think I've got it in me to do something in 2023. So I will make sure that I add that page after the table of contents, is what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know what's beautiful about this is you're saying, listen, I'm going to update this. I already updated it once. People don't realize sometimes they think, oh, I did my book, it's done. If you work with a traditional publisher, that's so the truth, but you can go back and update things anytime you want and keep it current. You don't have to re-upload the whole cover, you don't have to do all of that, but you can just change the inside of the book. Another little tip for you. I love that you did your Amazon author page, because a lot of people don't do that. They forget about it. Publishers forget about it. Go in there and add that same link to the bottom of your profile. So you can put social media links there, your bio, you could put the website to closers.com. So put all the links that you want on your Amazon profile underneath your bio right there. So they can connect there too. Just another place to have other places to get those leads in by, we call it using your real estate. How do I use all the real estate that Amazon's giving me and be the most effective with it with your book?
I love it. Yep, I will do that. That's a quick one I can do. Thank you.
Yeah, that one's an easy one. Well, we love everything you're doing with your book, and I love that you're using your book to build your business. Tell people where they can go to get the book and to get more information from you.
You can get the digital copy of the book by going to natelind.com/gift. If you want to see my book funnel, you can go to get.maximumexit.com, and you can see the funnel I'm using to sell the book to cold traffic on Facebook and through Google Ads.
And would you recommend business owners, entrepreneurs to write their own book?
Heck yeah. It's like you're immediately putting yourself in the upper echelon of expertise. I think if you've been doing what you're doing for more than 2 years and you're making any kind of, profit, you need to spend a little bit of time and just go ahead and do this. Like, it's going to set you apart from your competition. And it's just incredible credibility for who you are and what you do. If you don't have enough material to come up with 150 pages, 130 pages, 100 pages, mine's 136. I feel like the second book I'll write, when I get around to writing it around business valuations, probably be 200, 250 pages, because I've got so much more material and ideas coming around that. I've already got 27 chapters for it. It's got, each of the factors. We've got the whole analysis around that. I think you should do it. If you're a serious business professional, especially in the business to business realm, It is worth doing. I would encourage you to do it. It's not terribly expensive. There are people that can help you for it. And it's also not terribly time consuming, but it does take a little bit of teeth gnashing, I think, in the organizational phase of it, and making sure that you're not just, stream of consciousness writing all over that, the place. Like, give it a little thought to, if you were to rewind time and put yourself into your prospective audiences, your potential clients' shoes, what is it that's going to move them from, I have no idea who you are and what this is, to, I want to talk to you? And that's the gap you're trying to fill.
I love it. Thanks, Nate, for coming today. You're amazing. Love your book, love your business. And if you're interested in becoming an author and writing a book for your business, reach out to us at eliteonlinepublishing.com. We guarantee we make our authors #1 bestsellers on Amazon and Wall Street Journal. So hit that author submission button. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
If you want to write a book and become a best-selling author, you're in the right place. At Elite Online Publishing, we can help you create, publish, and market your book so that it becomes a #1 bestseller. We work with a limited number of authors to ensure that they receive the best possible service. So if you want to learn how to write and publish a book that will empower you to smartly grow your brand, business, and credibility, apply today. We look forward to working with you.